and girls, welcome to another episode of Chillin with Blackqueen. You're still chilling with your host Blackqueen. Today we are coming with a twist to our show because today we are doing the last episode of season 1 of our show Chillin with Blackqueen. So for that reason, your guest will be Blackqueen. You are stuck with me today. We don't have any guest, and also because it is the end of our Women's Month. As we know that August is Women's Month, and on August 9, we're supposed to be celebrating Women's Month. We are going to dedicate this show especially to women. The topic I am going to talk to you guys and girls about today is a very sensitive one, yet a heartbreaking one. The topic of abuse. Many a times women are abused in relationships. From the very early age, even the oldest person, like 80-year-old, they still abused in relationships. So when you talk about of abuse, what are we talking about? There's different types of abuses, and people always stick or concentrate on one type of abuse, which is physical abuse, because you have scars that show. There are other types of abuse that nobody can see, but that can result in anger, that can result in depression, that can result in low self-esteem of a woman. Remember, we are not saying that men are not abused by women, but we're saying we're concentrating more on women because on the rate of 1 to 10, it's more women who have been abused. And with the gender-based violence that has been going around in our country and other areas of Africa, we want to talk more about what's happening to women, because I have heard another country recently that there were women who are being killed there. So what we want to discuss is these different types of abuse. There is physical abuse that everybody knows about. That one is clear. This man or this woman will beat you. Your partner will beat you. You will have a scar on your face or on your body or anywhere else. We have another dangerous, deepest type of abuse, which is the emotional abuse. With emotional abuse, we don't see the scars. You only feel the scars. You are being told how useless you are, how stupid you are. You are being sworn at all the time. You are made to feel that you are nothing, you are worthless. That is the most, according to me, Blackqueen, the most dangerous one. And then we have another form of abuse that has killed a lot of relationships, the financial abuse. What I mean about financial abuse is an abuse when another partner is intentionally misusing other partner's finances, or using the other partner in this relationship just for their personal gain. Fortunately for me, I have experienced all these types of abuses, and I'm talking now from my own experience. And then we have another abuse that people will always talk about, the sexual abuse. The sad thing about sexual abuse, people will always look at a person being abused by someone from outside, an uncle, a stranger, whilst we have abuse in a relationship, a sexual abuse in a relationship. Yes, guys and girls, you can be raped by your own partner while you are in this relationship. So what happens now when people have these abuses? They lose their self-esteem. Like, just briefly, if I were to talk about myself, as we speak today, I don't have the long mirror in my house because I was told many a times how much I look like an elephant. And that was after giving birth to a 5-kilogram child. So if you're a woman, you will understand how long it takes for you to lose all that weight. And when someone wants to leave you, they tell you, I'm leaving you because you look like an elephant. So since that time, that is a stigma that sticks with me, that I don't look like a woman. I feel I look less a woman. I can't even look myself on the windows. You know, when you're walking on window shopping, I can't even do that because whenever I look at that mirror, I see an elephant. That's how dangerous and deep that emotional abuse is. I've been in a situation where I have been told many a times how stupid I am. And you know what that does to you, guys and girls? It makes a woman feel useless. You know, even when you want to come up with an idea or a thought, you still feel, nobody's going to listen to me because I am stupid. And then we have our physical abuse. Men can beat you. Looking at you now, some people cannot notice this. My eyes are not the same size. The eye on the left is smaller than this one, and I have a scar on top of my eye. That resulted from physical abuse. If you come and talk about a partner and sexual abuse, you know, there's this pressure when you are a teenager, when you start a relationship with a boy, that you must have sex with them. And when that does not happen, they force themselves into you, and nobody talks about that. The sad thing about all these types of abuses is that we do not talk about them. Do not blame that child when she doesn't tell you about the abuse, because abuse always comes with a threat. This person will always threaten you. If you talk about this will happen to you. If it's your relative sexually abusing you, if you talk about it, you will lose money, you will lose any other thing that person was doing for you. I was once in a state where I had to be homeless because I was running away from this abuse by a relative, a very close one, someone that I trusted. And the most unfortunate thing about abuse is people get judged. When you do things the way you do, when you live your life the way you live, nobody knows what happened to you in the past. Everybody just judges you. She's doing this, she's doing that. Why is she doing that? She's doing this because of that. But they don't know how much wounds you have inside. And as I am sitting here with you, guys and girls, I have been wounded by relationships. But the big question now is, Black Queen, you've been wounded, you've been abused in all different forms of abuse. How can I forget the financial abuse? There are people out there who would come to you, tell you that they love you, fall in love with you, make you give your all for them because they can see a potential in you. They can see that you can make them rich. Someone who is not even scared to go around and say, I married a millionaire, because they wanted to use you. Today, as I'm sitting here, I cannot get credit anywhere. Why? Because someone financially abused me, and that person is rich, exchanging cars, and my life is a mess. But guess what? It's not the end of the world. Here I am, sitting here, smiling at you, doing the show with you. Can you tell that I've been a survivor of stroke? Is there anything in me that says I've had stroke more than 3 times? Is there anything in me that says I've been in ICU for a month without being able to do anything for myself? No. That's where the power is of a woman. Those relationships kill us, yes. The men in our relationship, they make us go through a lot, yes. But what do you do with it? Stand up. I like to say chin up, chest out, and walk tall, as if nothing ever happened, because you are not what you are told. Whatever he is saying to you that you are not that. You can beat this. We can beat abuse, girls. We can beat abuse. And as for guys who are busy abusing these girls, men abusing women, what is it in for you? What do you gain at the end of the day? Is it about power? Is it about proving a point? One of the most difficult and dangerous other things that men do that leads to the abuse is lies. On our show, we've had different guests talking about being honest and lie. If you lie to your partner, definitely you are going to abuse your partner. Why do you have to do that? Why do you have to make other person go through that? What if this was your sister, your mother, or your own child? There is a saying that says, if you were a man, look into yourself and be honest with yourself and say, if I was a parent, would I have let my child marry someone who is like me? Men, it's time that you get realistic and you stop what you are doing to women. You know, another stigma that comes with women is the issue of being judged. You get married, people judge you. You divorce, people judge you. You have a relationship, people judge you. You're dating a younger guy, people judge you. Dating an older guy, people judge. They will always judge you. There is a story I like to relate to when I was growing up that we read in a book of a man and his son and a donkey. They were going to a market. The man and the son were walking with the donkey. People look at them and they said, "This man is so stupid. How could he be walking while there is a donkey that he can ride on?" Then the man decided, you know what? Hey, these people are right. Let me ride on the donkey. And as he was riding on the donkey, other people that he met on the way said, "How could he be so cruel and ride on the donkey while his son is walking? What kind of man is this?" Then the man sat back and thought, they are right. "Son, come into the donkey, I will walk." And as he was walking on another street, he met more people who said, "Look at this boy. How could he be riding on a donkey while his father is walking?" Then the man decided, you know what, my son, let's both climb into this donkey. Let's ride the donkey. Everybody was like, oh my goodness, these people are cruel. Can't you see you are too heavy for this poor donkey? That is life, guys and girls. That's life. People will always judge. Do you? But the most important thing, if you have been through abuse, talk. Talk to someone, and talk to someone. Even if you cannot talk at that point in time, it's okay. Pick up the pieces. Remember, I said, you are bigger than what that man or that other woman was saying to you. Abuse is real. And all these types of abuses are real and they affect women. Yes, they affect men as well, but they affect more men than women. So I'm saying, men, stop what you are doing to our women. And I'm saying, women, chin up, girls. You are bigger than what these men are doing to you. Okay, that was a mouthful, eh? Let us go now for an ad break. And now we're going to do a different advert as well. As I said, today we're twisting the show altogether. I am going to play to you a song or a poem. Please listen to it carefully. Listen to it and see if it relates to you or to the person that you know. And you and me will meet again after the break.
The native woman.
A native woman. Who is this native woman? She is a woman of integrity, a woman of intellectuality, that woman who smiles when she should be crying. She is that woman who carries shame and still walk tall.
The native woman.
She is native because she comes from a nation that gave birth to wonderful women, a nation that embraces women from other nations, and that is a native woman.
The native woman.
Who is this native woman? She is that woman some say is ugly, but I say she has inner beauty. Others describe her as that thin woman. Others describe her as a fat woman. But I say she is the perfect image of God. Some classify her as black. Some classify her as white. But she is a woman of no color. She is a native woman.
The native woman.
Who is this native woman? She is that woman who has been deceived
abused, discriminated, separated from her own children, separated from her own hard work, separated from her own humanity, separated from her own dignity. And that is a native woman.
The native woman.
You love her. You hate her. The choice is yours. If you love her, please treat her with respect.
She is the mother of the nations, the savior of the masses, the carer of solutions and the bearer of collusions. Who is stronger than the bruises? Devours all the pressures, all the pain and the anger. She can change like the weather when she smiles, when she cries. She remains the protector with intelligent decisions that can make your life seem different. Cause you know she's from heaven. I praise all the powers now and forever. Power to my Africa, the native woman.
Welcome back, guys and girls. We're still chilling with your host, Blackqueen, and you're still chilling with your guest, Blackqueen. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the song or the poem that is performed by Blackqueen. It was composed and written by Blackqueen, dedicated specifically to women, native woman. So that woman is you, that woman is me. We are both native women, and we have been through all these things, and yes, we're still strong. Today we're talking about abuse, and even though we have been abused, hello, we're still native women, we're still smiling. Look at me, I'm still smiling with all the scars in and out. I'm still smiling. I just want us to quickly have a look at the journey that we have had on our show, your show, Chilling with Blackqueen, since we started. We had different guests coming in. We'd love to say thank you to all our guests for sharing with us their reality, because our show is about being realistic, talking about real life experiences from real people. I just want to quickly recap and see if any of us remember any of these episodes. And if you don't, you can still go to our page and check out and listen. You might learn one thing or two. I keep on saying the show is about learning. We have to learn something, because I have been learning from these people every day. We talked about independency, where we had our guest Lamis. Lamis was talking to us about independency, how being independent affects women. And she mentioned that in this day and age, she struggles, most women struggle to get into a relationship because they are too much independent. There's one thing that she highlighted there was that you must give the relationship a probation period. Lamin said there's a probation period. In that probation period, you will see if this relationship is really the one for you or it's not. Then we had our natural beauty Asta, who talked about why women prefer to be single. One of the things that I enjoyed most on that episode was Asta saying that it's okay that you have a partner, you are married or you're staying together, but have two different bedrooms. She mentioned the issue of space and the issue of women used to doing things for themselves. That was a very learning curve for me, because that was new information for me, but I have learned something from it as well. Then we had our very first guy on the show, which was Joyce Tole. When we were talking about in-laws, we were asking the question, should in-laws be part of the relationship, or how do they affect relationships? And Joy advised us that it's better not to stay with your in-laws if you want to be on a safe side, because at some point in-laws will end up taking sides on your relationship, and you will end up all the time going back to report to your mom, to your dad, to whoever else. And then we had our Brazilian Yasmina, who talked to us about lasting relationships. She's married for 26 years, and in that 26 years she had difference in her marriage. She is Islam and her husband is a Christian. But she mentioned a very important factor there, that if with respect and communication, you can still have a sound, good relationship that will last even if you are from different religious backgrounds. Then there was a one that touched me as a parent now, by a young man, Onke, when we were asking, why do young people kill themselves when the relationships don't work? He came with this insight here that as young guys or young girls, they can't date people of their age because they run into older people. I'm mentioning being a parent because he said, this is what Onke said, young girls end up looking for love in places where they shouldn't because of the void at heart, that the love that they don't get from home. So that rang a bell for me as a parent now. Am I giving my children enough love so they don't go and look for it out there? So now Onke mentioned that what happens in these relationships is this girl will go to an older guy for love and for financial stability, and then when the relationship don't work there, she ends up killing herself. And now younger guys will end up dating older women for the same reasons, but also because they have been disappointed by the young girls. But now what happens when that older woman decides to get married? And she will be married to a man of her age. Then there's disappointed, there's embarrassment. He mentioned social media, how much it affects young people's relationships. So those were the reasons he mentioned why people kill themselves. And then we talked about another issue of divorce with our guest, Butlu. Butlu, wow, he said you can have a happy divorce. It was my first time to hear about a happy divorce. But yes, guys and girls, you can have a happy divorce. Again, the issue of communication came out, that you have to talk about it. Look, we are here now, it's not working, let's break it. But what was outstanding is the fact that he said, for you to get to that stage, it depends. What were the reasons for you to get married in the beginning? That's what makes people divorce. And now you can have a happy one. It doesn't have to be ugly. Then we had Tazoro, who talked about infidelity and cheating. I don't like this one because it came straight to us as women. He said, when we get married, we tend to relax. We don't take care of ourselves like we used to. We let them as guys go out there on their own. We don't want to go out anymore, and that really pisses them off. It leads them to the arms of other women. Also, he mentioned the issue that when we get there, there are those women who will fish. He says they fish in the port. They don't want to go to the ocean. So it's mostly older women who are there, who has money, who does everything for them, and then they fell into that trap because you as a woman was not there for your husband when he needed you. Then we went on to talk about Christianity. We had Voli, a born-again Christian, where we were asking, are they allowed to have sexual relations before marriage? He said it's a big no. But yes, because we live in these days, it happens. But his advice was, if you're a born-again Christian and you want to get married and you feel that there is a sexual drive, do not delay the marriage. And then we went on to talk about polygamy. Strange enough, some women prefer polygamous relationships. Lamise again came to the show and she said that some women prefer polygamous marriages because, one, because of their busy schedule. They don't have time to do all the house chores, so they need a helper. And she also mentioned that sometimes you're doing it for a sister, you're helping a sister. She said we shouldn't be selfish. You see, this other woman is struggling. She has children, she doesn't have a husband. So your husband can cater for both households. So why not ask him to marry that other woman? And then we went on to have another topic, very interesting and very important, about communication, which we had a guest, Will Zondo. And communication has always been there. Everybody talks about communication. Zondo said, communication, we must set a tone even before you start talking, because whatever you say comes from what was in your mind. Set a tone of your communication. And he said, it's okay to say, no, I will not do it, my husband, my wife, but you don't have to be fighting about it. And then we had another guest, George, who was a stepchild. We experience a lot of these days, guys and girls, with breakups and divorces. We have partners who have different children. George is an example of a child who was raised as a stepchild and who was happy being a stepchild. He still has a good communication with his mother, who is a stepmother. He mentioned that the most important thing is honesty. Tell your partner if you have other children, so that partner can accept your children, so they don't ill-treat your children at the end of the day. And then we talked about social life and relationships. Is it okay that partners drink? Can you have a drinking partner? Should your husband and wife drink? We had Makumbe Clever, and one of the things he said is good for a guy. Guy can drink, but a woman cannot drink. But anyway, it was not me saying that. And then we had our guest, Blackqueen, talking about abuse. So guys and girls, thank you so much for being with us. You have been following us from the beginning of the show till now, and we hope to see more of you when we start with our season 2, because season 2 is definitely coming. We'll keep you updated on our Facebook pages. On our social media, we have a Facebook page, Chillin with Blackqueen. We have YouTube. Don't forget, you can get all these episodes, the 13 episodes, you can get on our YouTube channel. And please don't forget to subscribe there. Also follow us on Instagram, Chillin_with Blackqueen. Before I close off the show, I want to close by saying, if you are in a relationship, abusive relationship, whichever abusive type of abuse, speak out. Find someone to talk to. If you cannot find anyone to talk to, in South Africa, there are places where you can go or make a phone call there where you can get help. I'm going to mention a few, but it doesn't mean it ends there. And if you are not in South Africa, in any part of the world, please find out on your Google or directory where can you go for help. We have an organization called POA. Their number is 076 694 5911. They deal with people opposing women abuse. We also have FAMSA. FAMSA deal with family and marriages. Remember, we said that this abuse is also in a family structure. 021 447 7951 is where you can call FAMSA. And then with the gender-based violence that is going around, you can call a toll-free number 0800 150 150. For rape crisis, if you have been raped, you can call 021 447 79762. And lastly, we have our lifeline number for any issues relating to abuse and rape. You can call the number 0861 322 322. Well, guys and girls, having said all that, from me, your host Blackqueen, and the rest of the Chillin with Blackqueen team, we'd love to say thank you so much for staying with us for season 1, and we're hoping to see you again in season 2, which will update you when we're about to start. So from me and the rest of the crew, stay blessed.